Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday Night Community Call. I'm your co-host, Robin, along with Gregory, and we are here every Monday night to share as a community, to give you updates, to do a little training, to celebrate people. And we've got a special call for you tonight with several of our wonderful leaders to contribute. And I'm going to turn things over to Gregory to start it off, and then he's going to pass it on to me, and then I'm going to open it up for several of our leaders. So over to you, honey.
Okay, great. Well, good evening, everyone. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because most of you probably saw our newsletter this morning or this afternoon. We started working on it this morning. It's a Monday morning labor of love to get the newsletter out. But today we wanted to continue the discussion that we started last Wednesday on our director's call, last Thursday on our Thursday morning training call. And it's such an important topic. We wanted to carry it forward today, and that's the topic of retention. And, I learned years ago in my early in my career in network marketing. I've been involved full-time for 35 years. And about 30 years ago, I was fortunate enough to have a mentor that gave me really the fundamentals. He had a 30-year background in network marketing, and he was just brilliant. He knew the nature of the business at all levels. And he said, Gregory, there's three things you want to bear in mind and remember. You have three goals, three objectives, three master keys, if you will. And you can see it on the screen. Master key number one, getting people in, recruiting, selling, getting people to join you as a customer, a brand partner, a retail customer, preferred customer. But, we are in the direct sales business, and getting people in, that's number one. But when you get people in, our second job is to keep people in. And as I pointed out here in the letter we wrote, unlike normal sales where, you talk to somebody, and they buy, you present, decision, purchase, and thank you very much. You may earn a commission and you move on, whether you're selling vacuums, cars, washing machines, you're selling something and you're getting a one-time commission. The thing I love about our channel of distribution, network marketing, or as we rather call it, relationship marketing, we don't close a sale when somebody says yes. We open a relationship. The goal of our profession, the goal of our business, the goal each of you should have in building your LifeWave business is develop long-term, mutually rewarding relationships. And these are relationships with your customers, with your brand partners, with your upline, and everybody in your organization. Long-term, mutually rewarding relationships. And you know what? That's the foundation of our long-term passive residual income. Because unlike conventional sales where you make a sale, you get a commission, and it's over, here you make an ongoing revenue. You sign up a new customer on X39, a new preferred customer. Well, you only make $20, but that's $20 a month times 12 months. That's $240 a year. And maybe by the end of the year, they're no longer spending $100. Maybe they're spending $200. So that's $500 a year. And what if they upgrade and become a brand partner and they're doing $10,000 or $20,000 a month in sales? So this is a really exciting aspect of our business. So tonight we wanted to talk about some of the keys to actually helping your brand partners and your customers stay involved. And just a quick, brief personal story. When I was the vice president of sales of a direct selling network marketing company, we had lots of customers. We had a very attractive product in that company, as we have here in LifeWave with our phototherapy products and X39 and everything else. But, like all network marketing companies, we struggled to keep our customers engaged. And we hired an outside marketing research firm to come in and analyze why some customers were as loyal as the day is long, and other customers get in and get out. And they analyzed, Judy, you could leave your camera off for a while. They analyzed, the difference between the two, and they found 11 different things that the customers that stuck around that they did or that was done to and for them than the people that left. And of these 11 things, I identified two very important things that were more important than everything else. Number one, they understood and had belief in the product. And so for us, that means they have a basic understanding of photobiomodulation or phototherapy. They understand it's rock solid science. It's not woo woo. It really works. And when they get on some of our calls, our Monday morning call or Tuesday night call or Sunday night call, they hear all these stories. That builds belief. Hey, this phototherapy stuff must really work, right? Number one. And number two, they felt like they had a connection, a line of communications with the person that enrolled them and with the company. So they felt like they belonged and they understood and had belief. So that's the two foundations. We now have Robin. I'm going to turn it over to Robin, and she's got a number of our leaders. They're going to be sharing some of their success and some of their strategies for maintaining that connection, for building that belief. So that's my little kickoff, Robin, and I'm going to turn it over to you.
Oh, thank you, Gregory. I've learned so much from you. And yes, we're in the relationship business. So you can think about all the different relationships in your life. What do you do to stay connected? And I have a true confession. After last week, when we talked about retention, I actually went and looked in my back office. I saw a lot of those X's, and I know we all have them. And we have some people on tonight that have less than most, and they're going to share why. But what I realized when I looked under my personally enrolled is that I haven't been doing a very good job of consistently staying in touch with my people, whether they're brand partners or customers, either one. It's really, really important. And you don't want to be one of those people that every time, the caller ID shows up, they're there to pitch you. You want to be someone that continually adds value to people's lives. So there's an infinite amount of ways to stay in touch. Jim Maver, one of the things he does so beautifully is every morning, the first thing he does, he turns his computer on when he gets to his office and his desk, and he looks at the activity, the new people that have joined his team. And he picks up the phone and he reaches out to the sponsor and congratulates them. You know that quote of mine from Stephen Covey, the deepest need of the human soul is to be appreciated, acknowledged, affirmed, and understood. So him taking the time to reach out and congratulate them. And then he also says, do I have permission to call your new person and introduce myself and welcome them in case sometime they can't reach out to you? They know that there's a whole team that are supporting them. What a wonderful thing to do. And Jim is climbing through the ranks beautifully. He's got an amazing team, and he's done such great work of staying connected. And so I am actually opening things up for you to share in the chat too when you're listening to people. Maybe share some of your wisdom of what you're doing to stay in touch. But let's start out, since Judy opened her camera first. These three guests we have on tonight are all and above, and they are all fabulous at staying connected with their people, and they all do it in a very different way. So our hope tonight is that you get some ideas of what's going to fit for you. Are you going to be sending emails? Are you going to create a spreadsheet and when did you talk to who by when? Are you going to send videos? Are you going to do what Anne Moreau does? And she's going to share that in a minute. So without me spilling the beans here, I want to turn things over and have Judy, why don't you turn your camera on? So Judy Friesen is in Canada. She's on her way back to Canada. She's spent some nice time because she lives in a bioregion where it's pretty dark and wet at this time of year. And so she went down to sunny Palm Springs, and she's stirring it up big time down there. So Judy, what are some of the things that you do, my dear, to stay connected? And I'd love it if you would briefly share your story about what happened to you and the commitment you made.
Great. Thanks, Robin. It's good to be with you and everybody on this call tonight. Thank you for having me. I really come at this idea of retention from a personal point of view, because I know what it's like to join LifeWave and to feel abandoned and orphaned. What happened was that my sponsor sponsored me because he is a consummate sponsor. He gets thousands of people in every year, but then he doesn't do any of the follow-up or the retention type activities. And so I heard from him when he first introduced me to LifeWave, and then that was it. He was gone. And so I really know what it's like to kind of feel lost. And I wish that I'd had someone that I could just call now and then, or have a weekly call with and say, hey, can you help me find this, or tell me about how to do this or that? So I made my way through LifeWave kind of as an orphan for the first year or so. And then now I have someone who's in my upline that's answering my calls, and that's Pete Redekop, and I'm so thankful for him. So what do I do to do what I wished I had done to me? And so I do 5 things very, very quickly. One is I just get out a piece of paper if I don't want to use an Excel spreadsheet, and I have the name of the person, their phone number, email, and then I draw a couple extra columns vertically. And in those columns, I make sure that I use that as a tool to help me to stay on track. Have I talked to that person in the last quarter? So 4 times a year, I will either text them, call them, or email them, depending on what they say is their preferred method of being in touch. And so I've shortened that just to remind me, etc. ETC. Do they want emails? Do they want text? Or do they want a call? And so in the column of how do they want to be communicated with, I will have across from their name, I'll put an E in there, a T or a C. So I'll remember what they wish. And then I make sure that I get to know them. So when I make those communication, those calls, whether it's an E, T, or C, I will just get to know them, ask them how it's going. I keep a file on everybody, and I jot down what are their likes, what are their dislikes, where are they vacation, what are they going through, do they have any challenges in their life, so that when I call them up in these quarterly calls, whether it's an actual call or an email or a cell phone call or a text, I will ask them the question, how's it going with your sister? You told me she broke her leg. How is she doing? That kind of thing. I'm trying to show them that I care about their whole life, not just about the LifeWave patches. Of course, at least one of those times, I will, if not all 4 of them, depending on the relationship, I will ask them, how is it going? Can I help you any with patch placement or anything else? I also make sure that I dribble on them. I am sending usually weekly something or other. And I will make a note if somebody doesn't want that much information, but most people are happy to open up a video, to read some document that I have gleaned or that I have written. But what I have found is that most people are too busy to watch a 30 or a 50-minute video or a webinar, which is often an hour. And so I will go through those webinars, and I'll actually highlight maybe the minute mark 7 to minute mark 11, and I'll send the whole video, and I'll say, you're going to want to watch this little 3-minute excerpt out of this 40-minute video. I think that this is really something that you and I have talked about in the past. And I'll make a note that I've actually sent that video so I don't resend it again and again. And 9 times out of 10, the person is so curious about the rest of the video that they'll watch the whole thing and they'll tell me about it. When I send the video, I not only tell them, watch these 3 minutes, but I say to them, please get back to me and just give me a 1 sentence on what was the favorite thing that you learned from this clip or this video that you watched, so that we can have a dialogue maybe the next time. So I get to know them. I make sure I track their method of communication that they most want. I dribble on them. And I encourage them by saying, you know, if you ever have anyone that you're thinking should know these patches, I'm happy to get on a 3-way call with you. Or if you would be comfortable, if they would be comfortable, give me their phone number and I'll call them and I'll keep you in touch. Some people just haven't thought to tell somebody. They're just not in that mode. The last thing is to celebrate. That's the 5th thing. Celebrate. I do that by doing 2 things. I celebrate their anniversary of when they got into LifeWave. Just celebrate that it's really great that you've been around in LifeWave for 3 years or whatever it would be. And then I also celebrate the 1 year, the 2nd year anniversary on that day by sending them a little note, a little card, or whatever else. So 5 things: know, dribble, celebrate, encourage, and then track with the ETC.
Wow. I sure
Yep.
hope everyone was taking notes because you gave a plethora of treasures there. I want to start out just by saying, taking the time to ask people their preferred communication. We have that getting to know you form that's available in the library and Live Younger Success. And it really does ask those questions. Different people are different. If for those of you that try to call me, you know that it's best to text me. And emails don't work for me. Texting does. Sometimes I need an email, but let me know through a text. So finding out and being consistent, and the fact that you had a challenge getting started, you made note to do it differently for your people. And this is for customers and brand partners, correct? You want to unmute, Judy? There's someone in
Yes.
the great.
Yes, absolutely. It is for preferred customers and brand partners. Of course, I do a little different things with brand partners than with preferred customers, but the general principles of those 5 things that I mentioned, that I just threw out there, those are pretty much what I do. I just customize it a little bit.
Beautiful, beautiful. And the other thing that you said that is, I love it. You have a sheet for each person and you
Yeah,
keep track of what's important to them. And
yeah.
and I recommend everyone. I was going through my old prospects from another company, and I did do that. I had a complete sheet, and then I had a place for notes, and what was important to them, and what was going on with their family. Even put their birthdays, and being consistent about being in touch. And I've shared this before about my friend Angela when she was up on stage talking about staying connected. She said every time you reach out to someone, you're developing this cord between your heart and theirs. And
Mhm.
if you continue to do that, that cord becomes unbreakable. And those people are in your life forever. So, Judy, you are doing so much right. And no wonder you're doing so well. And congratulations on your great success on your California trip. I loved hearing about that today. And I look forward to what's next for you, my dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. People are loving it. You got to read the chat, okay? And let's bring on another Canuck, another person who's been incredible at being systemic and detail oriented and really caring for her people. So Ravel Guzman, another one of our leaders, would you like to share what are you doing? And thank you
Speaking
for
of,
being here.
thank you, Robin. Speaking of being caring, when you asked me to join you, I had already heavily promoted the weekly community call tonight without knowing I was on it. So there you go. I loved the passion with which Gregory shared that this is about long-term mutually rewarding relationships, and that the differentiating the traditional business, if you want to call it that, and what we have here is the ongoing relationships and ongoing revenue. And of course, that includes ongoing mutual benefit to the member, which is what it's all about. We want to provide added value. So we're not about the transaction, we're about the relationship starting when they enroll and order these wonderful products. The first thing is everything that I've learned about retention and follow-up is from the Live Younger community. So thanks so much to Gregory and Robin and Judy Daniel for providing me with sufficient feedback as to what to say, what not to say. And it's all laid out in those wonderful sites that we have, Live Younger Products, liveyoungersuccess.com. And for example, I heard from one of Anne's colleagues. She works with, of course, Connie Lucas. And when Connie shared to contact the new member every week before for the first month, that was really critical for me because I noticed that retention improved after I did that. Because I tend to see things as I guess a lot of us do through our own filter. We think that, oh, well, because I take initiative, I'll find the answer myself by going to a meeting or listening to one of the wonderful doctors we have in LifeWave. Other people will do that too. Well, there's nothing like a phone call to, like Robin referred to that cord, it's so beautiful, that analogy, that And thank you as well, Robin, for sharing with us your life coach. I mean, that's been so instrumental for me to learn from Genevieve Joshua. And if I can enhance that level of love that I feel and demonstrate for others, it's so beautiful to have a purpose for living, to wake up and know that I can really make a difference in someone's life by reaching out and saying, how did it go in the first week of X39? And there could be so many things. And we hear that from what Anne has shared as well, with an individual, a member that might have a different experience on X39 that most people may not have. And to know how to direct them and how to make suggestions and tips, and people can really feel cared for and loved. And that's the whole thing about this beautiful Live Younger community and about this magnificent company, LifeWave. So I'm extremely grateful. Thank you so much for listening. And I'm sure that the rest of us, I am looking forward to hearing what Anne has to share.
That was wonderful. So Ravel is a consummate student. I don't know anyone that knows the resources and tools better than Ravel, and we can always count on her. But she's a student, and she heard what Connie's a master of retention also. And what she does is staying in touch. When someone is brand new, it's kind of like they're left on their own, but to know that you're there and to make that call. And notice what Ravel said. It's how did it go? She didn't say, what did you notice? She didn't say, what were the benefits? How did it go? Because we never know. Sometimes people could be really tired their first week because their body needs to rest. Sometimes people have amazing things. Sometimes people notice nothing. And that consistent communication and setting the intentions can make a huge difference. So thank you, Ravel. So now let's open up to the almost in Canada, the way northeast up in Maine. Our presidential director, Anne Morrow, she does something really different. And so Anne, over to you.
Thank you so much, Robin, for having me. And hello to everyone. And Ravel, I want to just say to you that yes, Connie Lucas is a master. She's taught me a lot in the time that I've been in LifeWave. And one of the things that she's always said is we need to understand whether or not our customer and brand partner is getting what they're looking for. Are they getting their desired result? And that is why follow-up is so darn important. Sometimes people say, well, I don't want to call, I'm afraid. But you know what? And I love this because I've heard Gregory say this before, right? We share and we care. And when we care enough about people, we're going to follow up and we're going to make a phone call. And that first month, Ravel, I totally agree with you. It's vitally important for us to call the first 24, 48 hours. We want to follow up. We want to call. We want to find out, how are they doing? Are they struggling? Do they need our support? That's who we are. We are to stay connected with the people we bring in and maintain that support for them. And I like getting their information, much like Judy said. I want to get their email, their phone numbers, find out which way they want to communicate. And I stay connected with all of them, whether they be brand partners or customers, and even my teams. When they bring somebody in, I try to put their email in. If they remember to give it to me, I will add it to my email groups. So what I do is I have a lot of different groups. I have a group because we do dinners here in Maine. We have a brunch once a month and we do a dinner once a month. And I invite all of my old my brand partners, my customers, everybody to the dinner. Anyone can come, or to the brunch, so that we have a community of us together supporting. And I'm always showing videos. We're educating as a community. We're sharing our stories. And again, you sit, we eat together. I'm a nutritionist, so we bring in really good nutritious foods. We give them recipes. So it's all about giving value to them, right? And it's the same thing with the emails or the text messages, or sometimes people like Messenger better on Facebook, so again, it's different for different people. And when I get a video, say that David Schmidt has done something, on a product, I send all of them that video. Last week there was a great video that came out, with David, and he was being interviewed by Stu Peters. Now, some of you may know him. Those people who are freedom fighters or patriots, might know him. And that video, I just sent it out to a bunch of people. People got back to me. Some are customers, some of them dropped out. Some said, you know, I want to know more. So you don't know what people are looking for, but for sure, people are looking to connect more than ever. People want community, and they want a community that's going to help them. I mean, I think people are struggling more than ever with health. I hear it every single day, and to be able to find a product that helps them create wellness, and to be able to come to a community that has a positive attitude, inviting them to Zoom calls, you know, presenting even with Zooms. It's amazing what we can do to really help support those individuals. And you heard from Judy, you heard from Ravel. They had some great ideas. You know, implement them in with your business. And I promise you, you're going to keep those people because they want to be connected to us. And if they know that you care enough to do that, you're going to keep your business growing. I promise you. So I'm going to hand it back to Robin.
Well, I hope you guys are taking notes. So much wisdom shared here. You know, the very first thing Anne said is what she was taught by Connie, which is our job is to support people getting their desired outcome. We don't know until we ask. And it could be about their health, it could be about their lifestyle. We must ask and just know that it may change over time. And something that Anne does is she has a bunch of email groups. And so she can easily distribute information out to people, which, you know, we have a plethora of resources, and just giving people consistent, you never know when it's going to touch someone, you know, and I will get that Stu Peters video out. Someone has asked in the chat because it's David with the new messaging. It's really, really well done. And as we're in this interim time where we're not talking stem cell activation, he says a lot of great stuff. It's not that long either. I think it's like 23 minutes. And so the staying connected and the following up. I remember Gregory saying to me once, you know, a lot of people have a hard time with following up because they don't want to be pushy. And Gregory calls it professional persistence. And I love that because I so appreciate when people follow up. We get distracted all the time. You know, just open up your emails or your text messages or your messenger. I watch myself today go, oh, wait a second, what was I really doing? You know? And so it's so powerful to to develop that muscle, that skill of staying connected. And that's what you want people to do with you, and you want to do it with them. And it does, more importantly, like Anne said, show that you care and adding value to them. So you guys, Judy, Ravel, Anne, yay. Thank you so much. You added so much to this call. So Gregory, do you have any final comments on the topic tonight?
Well, I just, you know, this is just a vast pile of golden, you know, keys, you know, and it's one of the three master keys: getting them in, keeping them in, and moving them along. And, you know, the process of keeping them in tends to move them along, because if you're developing that long-term mutually rewarding relationship, if you're finding out what they want out of it and doing your best to help they get what they're looking for, you know what? After somebody has such great experience with X39, at some point they're going to say, what else you got? And that's moving them along. Or you're going to have somebody came into the silver and says, wow, this is really working. You know, maybe I should look at upgrading to that gold kit. Maybe I should look at upgrading to, you know, that diamond kit. You know, so they're sequential. You get people in, take good care of them, and they'll naturally move along, and you'll end up with lifelong friends and customers, and we're all enjoying a healthy and wealthy lifestyle together.
I
So
love
great.
it. I love that you said that, because the moving them along can look like different things for different people.
Mhm.
And, you know, when someone's brand new and they get one of the smaller kits, I say, when you're ready to buy more product, please be in touch. I want to make sure you get the best value. because an upgrade is probably the best value for them. And then for business partners that want to move through the ranks, we have the Grow model, and that's a coaching model that anyone can do, and it's available in Live Younger Success. We're not going to go into that tonight, but there's many, many ways, but it's the consistency and the connection, showing people that you really care. That's the important part. So you guys were fabulous. So Gregory, you want to pull up the newsletter?
Okay, so this was a really good session. So we're moving along through our Live Younger Manager Matching Bonus program. We've got 27 new managers so far as of this morning. And so if you have recently become a manager or you've recently helped someone become a manager, please get with your upline director and make sure that they enter you in the system so you can be logged in. So we're starting to pick up a head of steam, and we love celebrating all the new managers. We love seeing their names and their faces posted in our Live Younger Facebook group and celebrating the success as we grow together. So we've done a little bit of reformatting, some of the same information, kind of tightened it up in the newsletter. You notice, it's like a fine piece of artwork. It's never quite done. So every week we make some fine tuning in the newsletter. We've tightened up the new video and download section so it looks better on your laptop or your iPad and also on your phone. And let's just jump ahead. And what we've done is these last few weeks, we've had such great trainings on our Thursday morning calls. We've got the last 4 weeks here from last Thursday, the previous Thursday, et cetera. Last week was increasing and mastering retention. So if you liked what you heard today in the last 20, 30 minutes, you can go and listen to the link from last Thursday and get even more tips and jewels and secrets for success and retention. So let's talk about the upcoming events and major event in May 3rd and 4th, Lifeway's first U.S. boot camp in Houston, Texas. And I know we're hoping to see many of you there. It won't be broadcast. It's going to be a live in attendance event only. And if you can make it there, that's great. The next one is going to be sometime in the summer, probably in Southern California. They moved it from Florida to California because in the fall, Florida is going to have the convention. So that's really a wonderful event for all of the East Coast people. It's easier to travel to. So for our West Coast people, we're going to have a West Coast boot camp. So the next thing,
before you move on,
go ahead.
I just want to let people know that we do have the hotel location, and we'll put it in the Facebook group. It's a Marriott Chase, and we will put that in the Facebook group. So we have a special room rate that you can get by calling the hotel. Okay, I'll get the number too. Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah, I'm sorry we didn't get that in there, but we do have
I think we should
location
put the July 20th event in there also. We'll do that next week.
Good. Okay, we'll do that next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
July 20th.
You want to talk about the spin now?
Sure. I got the spin ready. And
okay.
And the spin
why don't you explain it real quick? Explain what we're doing.
It's to reward those of you that post your amazing stories in our Vibrant Living Facebook group. And it's the stories that are the lifeblood of the business. And that's why the fastest growing teams are sharing stories all the time. So these are people that have shared their stories in Vibrant Living, and you won't be able to hear it. I don't know why, but I'm going to do the big spin. Let's see if you can see. I got the blur thing on.
Got the blur thing on. I can't see it.
The winner is Linda Miller. So if you're on the line, Linda, please make sure you send me your snail mail and we will send you a sleeve of patches. And we have several that we're going to send. So please continue sharing your stories. Okay, back to you, honey.
Okay, so let's look at a week at a glance. What's coming up this week? Tomorrow night, we have one of our very favorites, Dr. Jeffrey Hubbard, and going to be interviewed by SPD Janet Kiefer. So this is going to be a great call tomorrow evening. for our intro to X39, our X39 Share and Learn. And then Thursday, our 30-minute of business training. And so it's now going for actually 60 minutes, 30 minutes of training, and then we open it up and we stick around for 30 minutes of Q&A. So if you want to get your business questions, it's kind of open-ended, unlimited. You can ask your business questions in the second half of the call. And so we really enjoy your presence on those calls with us. All of these calls are on replay in Facebook, in our Live Younger Facebook group, and also in liveyounger.youtube.com. Thursday, there's a Spanish LifeWave and X39 intro in Espanol on conniezoom.com. And then Sunday, X39 Share and Learn on conniezoom.com with health practitioners. So that is just a really wonderful call, and people seem to love the Sunday night call for many reasons, you know. So thank you, Connie, and your beloved team for putting that together and opening it up to everyone. And then again, you know, every Monday morning, we did it again this morning, and Robin and I got off the call and goes, oh my God, could you believe those testimonials?
I
Oh
know, it
my
was
God.
wild. It was so fabulous. It
It
makes,
is.
you know, I was Tom, Dr. Tom and I were texting of how grateful and blessed we are. After that call, we both kind of went, wow, this is what a difference we get to make in people's lives. What a gift.
Mhm.
What a gift.
Yeah, there you go. So the Power of the Patch webinar is still available 24/7. It's really 7 days a week, 6 times per day. And I know some people are still very effectively using that as a first or second exposure and having a very high closing rate for people that you send to those webinars. Very powerful. And Robin put it back on here. It kind of fell off our newsletter. So if you're interested in, hats, shirts, badges, business cards, banners, and more, you can go to liveyounger.ourproshop.com. That's a branch of Vistaprint, and those products are all branded to LifeWave and Live Younger. You need to create an account, even if you already have a Vistaprint account. You need to start another one within our Live Younger Pro Shop.
Because
And
these are wholesale prices, not retail. And so
that's correct.
it's free to sign up. So it says sign in or sign up. Sign up if you're not signed up, and you'll be able to get the wholesale prices.
Yeah, there's no markup. We don't make a dime from doing that. We pay an annual fee for them to host our Pro Shop, but we pass those savings on to you. Okay, and then I kind of reworked the quick access URLs because it was a little overwhelming. There's so many of them. So I've now got it down into primary URLs. There's 7 of them. The most all of you should know by heart and probably use frequently. And then there's the other important resources. And it was hard to say which ones should go to the top, which ones go to the bottom. And I know we could have a debate with many of you and each other about that. But I think it just makes it a little bit more compartmentalized, especially for brand new people. They looked at that list and go, oh my God, what are all those links? Well, the primary ones, the ones you need to know about: liveyounger.com, Live Younger Zoom, Connie Zoom, Live Younger Chat, liveyoungersuccess.com, liveyoungerproducts.com, and copperpeptidebreakthrough.com. You know, those are the primary ones, but let's face it, the other important ones: Power of the Patch webinar, our Facebook groups, and our YouTube channel. We have a lot of wonderful resources, but it's really important you don't give too much to new people too soon. Don't, as you like to say, Robin, don't give them the whole bag. Give them a potato chip to start, and
It's
maybe
the
another one.
potato chip theory. I guess I better tell people what that means.
Go ahead.
What happens when you give someone one potato chip? They want another one and another one. What happens if you cram the whole bag down their throat like we typically do as network marketers?
They throw up.
So we want to give
Yeah.
them, our job is to create curiosity, to give people enough information to make an informed decision, and to have them want more. Yes. Thank you, honey.
Mhm. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up our call. This was a very important call. It's available for replay because it's live on Facebook. So give Facebook just a few minutes to process it. And tomorrow sometime we'll get it up on our YouTube channel. So thanks, everyone. Have a blessed week, and we'll see you on some of the upcoming calls and webinars.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Bye, everyone. Love you. See ya. Thanks, Judy. Great job.